Welcome to a quick update on the Home Tech Talk podcast. My name is Jake.
My name is Aidan.
On this episode, we caught up with Paul Skelton from CEDIA Australia.
Yeah, Paul gave us a quick update as to what to expect with the Tech Summit and Conference coming up in Tweed Heads in October. And it was good just to get an understanding of what we can expect at the show.
Paul, welcome to the Home Tech Talk podcast.
Hi guys, how we doing?
Good. Thanks for coming on.
No problem at all. Great to be here.
So we wanted to run through a bit about the upcoming CEDIA Tech Summit at Tweed Heads. If you wanted to give us a rundown and our audience a bit of a background into what's happening there.
Absolutely. So the CEDIA Tech Summit and Conference, like you said, is coming to Tweed Heads in October from the 18th to the 20th. And this is actually going to be the first time that we've had a residential technology-focused event for 3 years now in Australia. So it's almost like a combination of a few of our past events where we've had a conference before, but this is building on that. So we have an education schedule as well. We'll have a tabletop display area where we've got about 32 suppliers there showing off their latest products. And then we'll also have the awards back in person as a sit-down dinner event. And that's going to be the first time we've had a sit-down dinner for the CEDIA Awards in our region since 2012. So it's just an effort to try and bring back some of that, I guess, atmosphere that's been missing from our industry in Australia and New Zealand for the past couple of years, as we've been in lockdowns now for what feels like decades. But it's actually just now trying to get everything back up and running. And I think there's a lot of excitement around this event, and it looks like we're going to have a really good turnout. So it's becoming an event that's one that's not to be missed.
Yeah. What's the education schedule look like?
Yeah, so the education schedule is one area where we've spent a lot of time trying to figure out exactly what we wanted to bring in the country. So we've actually got 3 different training tracks happening. So we've got 2 full days of training that's targeted at the technician, 2 full days for system designers, and then we've got 2 full days that are focused very much at the business owner and manager. So anyone who's in that operations level of a business, we've got 2 full days of training for them as well, because I think that's something that's really been missing from our industry for a long time, is that business education. And I think after the past few years, I think that's something that a lot of people would be flocking towards. We've got things in there, everything from marketing, which is always a popular thing because I think that's something that's greatly misunderstood. We have sales training, but we also have someone named Leslie Shiner coming out from the US, and she's going to be looking at the financial side of running a business, but then she'll also be going into things like the importance of training, but also how to monetize that. And the other one that I think is going to be quite popular from her is talking about managing gig workers. So subcontractors in a gig economy. So at the moment, this seems to be a massive trend where technicians are leaving companies, going out and working for themselves. So it now seems to be moving towards a subcontractor-led market. And this course is really designed so business owners can get their head around actually how to work with subcontractors more effectively.
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting line of training. I mean, that's one thing that as a small business or small systems integrating business, you don't realize at the outset that you're actually, I mean, maybe this is my own ignorance, but I think there's quite a lot of us that don't realize that we are actually business operators, and we think we're just, technicians that are working for ourselves in some fashion. They don't actually recognize the fact that we're a business operation and we need to know how to run that.
That's right. I mean, running the business, your business, it's going to be your largest asset. And that's essentially, it's your retirement plan. So if you don't lay the foundations and actually have a functioning business and know how to operate that business, you'll end up losing, well, pretty close to everything if things go wrong. If we have another downturn in the market, which, I mean, at the moment, people will say that, that doesn't seem likely, but that's because at the moment everything seems to be going very well, except for obviously supply chain issues. But if there is a downturn in the market, a lot of people will be in pretty precarious positions and run the risk of losing businesses. So it's very important to actually have those foundations in place. And that's what this education is really designed to do, to help you make sure that you're in the best possible position to not just survive, but thrive.
Yeah. And for those people who are looking to get some of that technician training, I think that's definitely a part of the market that's looking for some increased interest. I think there's, endless companies looking to hire decent technicians. So if anyone's looking to get into the industry, it's probably a great place to start.
Yeah, so I recently did a small survey into the market to see, it was mainly around recruitment and remuneration trends to see what people were looking for. And it was about 3/4 of integrators in Australia are looking for senior technicians, and it was about 2/3 looking for a junior tech. So there is a lot of demand for qualified technicians out there at the moment. So this technical training track is very much designed to make sure that who you're employing or who you already employ actually have the skills that they need in order to let you finish the projects that you're being contracted to complete.
So did you want to tell us a bit more about the Tech Summit?
Yeah, sure thing. So the Tech Summit, and I think a lot of people are getting a bit confused around the Tech Summit because it's a name or a brand that they might not be familiar with. But essentially the Tech Summit is a free tabletop display area where at the moment we've got 33 suppliers involved showing off their latest products. And that part of the conference is entirely free for everyone in the industry to come along and meet with different suppliers that are essentially supporting our industry to see their latest products and to see what's coming down the line. So that Tech Summit, and for the entire event, actually, we've got Snap One as our gold sponsor. So they're involved. We have Amber Technology and Sound United as our silver sponsors as well. And then in terms of who's going to be showing at the Tech Summit, I actually think we've got a good mix this year. So we have the traditional AV and control distributors there as well, but we've actually gone out of our way to make sure there's other companies there. So we've got some marketing companies, we've got software developers, we've got cabling registration groups there as well, just to make sure that we have a good cross-section of what integrators need to be in front of in order to build their business into the future as well. The one thing I do want to point out, though, is with Snap One, obviously they have their dealer conference on the 18th of October, also on the Gold Coast. This is a separate event. So they're the gold sponsor of our event as well. But if you're going to be on the Gold Coast and you've already registered for the Snap One dealer conference, you actually need to register for the CEDIA Tech Summit separately. So like I said, yeah, completely separate event, but you do need to register in order to attend our event as well.
Where do you go to register for the Tech Summit?
So if you head to cedia.net/tech summits and just scroll down to the Australian dates, that will take you to the registration page. So we do have a couple of free events as well. Like I said, with the Tech Summit, we also have a free welcome reception on the night of the 18th, which is sponsored by Interdyne. So yeah, just make sure you register for that as well. And we also have a free session called Thriving in Business for Women. So it's a Women's in AV event as well that will be run during the show. And that's the same place where you buy tickets for the awards, tickets to come for the education schedule as well. If you want to go to the rack building course or the outreach instructor course, it's all on that one page.
And we'll also have all the links below as well for everybody to click, so to make it nice and easy. Another exciting announcement also that we would like to make is both Aiden and myself will be at the event. So we'll also be covering the event as well. So stay tuned for our coverage. And we look forward to, getting out there and meeting everybody who's around.
Yeah, it's actually really exciting to have you guys on board as a media partner for the event as well. So I think it'll be great to have you up there and seeing everything, getting some coverage of what's going on up at that show.
And then you mentioned the awards night. What's the go with the awards night?
Yeah, so the awards night, like I was saying a little bit earlier, is that this is going to be the first time we have a sit-down dinner awards night in Asia Pacific since about 2012. So we're actually going back to the old days, essentially, of having a little bit more fanfare around the event. So again, Snap One is going to be the event sponsor of that, but we also have silver sponsors from Amber Technology, Sound United and Crix. And we also have some category sponsors there. So Crestron's involved, LA Lounge, Markup and Design Show Australia, taking out different categories. So again, this is going to be an awards night like it used to be, where we'll be announcing project winners from Best Integrated Home, Best Media Room, Best Home Cinema, as well as some of the other categories. We have a series of what we call subcategories, but we look at things like lighting design, rack design, that type of thing as well. But it's set to be a very, very good night. We've got about 100 tickets left for that. I think it's just under 100 tickets left. And so that's on the 19th of October at the same venue as well, at Twin Towns. But yeah, I think that one's going to be a good night where everyone finally gets back together, lets their hair down, and actually starts to network properly as we used to.
Yep, that'd be good. Don't want to miss that one, Jake.
No, we'll be there for sure. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming on, Paul, and talking about the Tech Summit that's coming up in October.
Excellent. Thanks for having me.
We hope you enjoyed the overview of what's to come at the CEDIA Tech Summit in October.
Please see the description and links below to register, and we'll see you there.
And if you are liking our content, feel free to like and subscribe to keep up to date.
And follow us on social media at Home Tech Talk.
We'll see you there.